everyone. I am coming from an Arizona heat wave in a hotel because my AC went out. So Erin is joining me today because we're stuck in a hotel like a mile from my house. So hopefully everyone else's week is going a little better than ours, because this entire week has been a little bit of a show. And been finding the wins, been focusing on the gratitude, but man, this week has been challenging, and this is just kind of the cherry on the cake. So for everyone that is new here, this is just an opportunity to check in with our mental health, which sometimes we're kind of struggling, right? It's just an opportunity to check in, ask any questions that you might have. Just keep in mind that none of us are professionals. We're just giving our insights based on our experiences or the experiences of people that we've interacted with. Hello, Jake. Aaron's going to be watching the stream a little bit more through his phone because that's easier for him to read because his eyes are feeling a little bit fuzzy right now. So see, he's here and he's joining us so he can answer questions and stuff as well, which I think is nice because it gives a little bit of a balanced perspective, because I know we often have a lot of guys here, and I think it's important to have that balanced perspective. And we'll be having a special stream next week as well with a guest. So lots of different viewpoints, lots of different help. Keep in mind that it can get kind of crazy in here, so you can use that super chat or super sticker function to make sure I see that message. And then all of that is going to go toward helping the community and doing outreach and stuff, which I have to admit I haven't really had a chance to do that since the last stream. But that's kind of a good thing because it allows us to do little bit bigger projects, right? Because now we're going to have a little bit of donations and stuff built up. So we'll be able to do a little bit bigger projects. So everything works out, right? Somehow everything works out. Hello, Nikki and Pastor Dean and Tim. I know we're a few minutes early, so I think we just caught people off guard by being in here early.
We're a little bit early.
Better early than late. No, I am not early. I am not late. I arrived exactly when I meant to. Or precisely when I meant to, sorry. Don't want to ruin
when you meet.
Yeah, don't want to ruin Aaron's life right now. We are at a hotel, David, because the AC went out in the house. So that has been fun, trying to deal with that. It's just, I really used to think that my dad was being paranoid because my parents always say things happen in threes, right? Like big crises, people passing, stuff like that always happens in threes. And I thought, you're just being paranoid. But I swear, in my adult life, I realize things do tend to happen in sets like that. And it's really frustrating. And we're in Arizona. So our temp yesterday was 115, I think was the high, was 115. So it is not plausible to be at home without AC here, unless we're just going to be mermaids and live in the pool.
You get a nice reprieve today of it being only 112.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's only going to be 112 today. We get a little bit of cloud cover.
We need some rain on Monday too.
Yeah, we had a beautiful storm the other night that I needed more than I can possibly put into words. It was wonderful. I just sat for a bit and stared out my window, and then just went and sat on my balcony in the rain. I needed it a lot. So, celebrities die in threes, David says. It's really weird. Spencer says, hotter than holy F balls in the great state of Iowa today. I saw on the news, we went down to have breakfast, and I saw on the news that the whole country is kind of having really abnormal weather. I can't imagine why we would be having abnormal weather. If only we could do something about that. Notice the eye roll here. David says, I love standing in the rain, especially with thunderstorms. It's really cleansing. I always feel like it just kind of washes away everything. Spencer says it feels like 117 degrees. Sam says it's 95 in Indiana. Jake says it's only 90 in Western Pennsylvania. This is me giving Jake stink eye right now because Sam says specifically Indianapolis. So how's everybody's week been? Tell me about your state of mind right now. So I feel like there's just been one thing after another going on, not only for myself, but a lot of people that I know have just been kind of getting hit by one thing after another. Matthew says, I'm currently in a safe house. I suspect my ex-girlfriend hired someone to kill me. Well, I'm glad you're in a safe place, and I hope you can get that figured out. That sounds terrifying. I've had stalkers before, and it's incredibly terrifying. And I've had exes who do kind of crazy stuff. So I'm glad that you're in a safe place. I hope that you can get restraining order or take whatever legal actions necessary to remain safe.
Somebody being in a hotel because it's hot doesn't seem so bad anymore.
Right. Yeah. I know that in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of first worldy to complain about, oh no, I got put in a hotel because the AC went out in my house, but it's not. I know you guys know it's not just that. It's when you're already struggling with a bunch of things and then, oh yeah, the AC goes out on top of that. And you're just kind of, oh, of course it did. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't the AC go out? That's exactly what I was thinking. It was just kind of manically started laughing. Like, why wouldn't this happen right now? Because of course it would. Rick James says, very good. Good things keep happening to me. Yay. By the way, Snap Cup will travel. So we still have the Snap Cup. We did bring that today with the wins of the community. So Aaron, would you like to share how you're feeling this morning with all this going on?
Well, it's definitely been a rough week. And like she said, it's really just kind of the straw that broke the camel back, or straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah.
But when you have all these different things happening and then just one thing that, I don't know, for me personally, being home is kind of my safe place. It's just kind of, I feel normal. I can do whatever here. But when you're in a hotel, granted, it's nice, cool hotel. It's not home. It's just not.
It's not your security blanket.
Yeah, I can't do my own thing. I'm confined to a room that basically has a bed and a TV in it. And I'm not huge on watching TV, so we watched it for like an hour last night. And it's kind of weird to see commercials popping up in the middle of a movie again.
Yeah, I forgot what that was like, honestly.
It's how whiny I feel right now, but yeah, just...
For all of you who watch Family Guy, it's like that Family Guy episode where Lois is trying to keep her cool when everything keeps going wrong, and then she just asks for paper towels to clean up the mess. Do you remember that episode where she asked for paper towels to clean up the mess and there's no paper towels, and she just goes bat crap crazy and goes to destroy the town Christmas tree and stuff? That's how I feel right now, is all these things keep happening. I'm going, okay, I got this. I could do this. I have my skills. I have my toolbox. I'm fine. And then the AC goes out and it's no AC. And I just feel like that's where it just broke and lost my mind. And I'm choking on top of it. Snap Cup song to the Macarena dance. Who's going to pledge for that today? Yeah. I'm curious. Randy Q says, as for state of mind, not good. I've been dealing with workers' comp. Oh gosh, I don't even have to read further to know that that's going to be incredibly stressful for the last 2 weeks, and have at least one more week off and may have to go back home depending on what exactly is causing my hand pain. Hopefully they can figure that out. I hate dealing with anything that involves people giving you what you deserve or people getting you the assistance that you need. It can be so stressful. I hope that you have some kind of advocate to help you through that. Because
they didn't give you any gripe just getting the workers' comp. I know that can be difficult sometimes too.
Yeah, it is.
You sign up for something and then it's very difficult to actually get what you want and need out of it.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Oh, and Spencer apparently just moved, so he's saying he really misses his best friend. Mm-hmm. David says it's a visual comfort to be in your place. You have the lighting, how you want, the furniture, and your pillows, your own private bathroom. I just feel like it's familiarity to me. I need familiarity when I'm feeling stressed out or I'm feeling grief or trauma or whatever the case is. Just in general, I need familiarity, and that's why people tend to rewatch shows that they've already seen when they're in places of high stress, when they're in a point of really high stress. When they're in a point of really high stress, because it's the familiarity, it brings comfort. And that's me at home. It's okay, well, here's my blanket or my food or, my things that make me feel like I'm in my own little world. And this morning I was laying there, Aaron went to go get some stuff. He comes back and I'm just laying there with the blanket over my head going, I don't want to do this today. I just don't want to do this right now. So I'm happy to have people here to just give me a virtual hug. I need a virtual hug. Let's see. Back up a little bit. Where was that's what Aaron was pointing at. Dean, you said, "Oh, Nikki say feeling more gooder." Aaron said that the other day.
I've said it a few times this week, and she's giving me this weird look all the time. I know it's not a real word, but I still say it anyway,
Right.
And then I feel very validated right now.
Well, y'all can go join the grammar group. Matthew says, I recently watched a movie with a friend. He didn't know that the graphic rape scene would trigger my trauma, and I spent the rest of it watching in horror before explaining why. I'm actually really glad that you can open up to your friend and explain that, because having triggers like that can be really upsetting. I had that happen several times where I've been watching a movie and something really gets to me. Unfortunately, I usually watch movies with people that understand and can be supportive. As a matter of fact, we were going to go see
Sound of
Freedom this week, but there's an actor in it that I found while we were trying to find the movie times and stuff. I realized that he was in it. I said, nope, I can't deal with that actor right now. And I don't want to go into detail as to why, but that actor specifically happened to be really triggery to me, to some pretty massively traumatic events. So I understand completely. And the best thing you can do is really talk about it and open up, and hopefully your friend can ask questions and help you get through that trauma, that flashback, because it kind of comes out of nowhere, right? Like, trauma triggers can come out of nowhere. I never in a million years expected that actor's not even a well-known actor, so I never really expected for him to come up, especially right now in my life. And I was frustrated because I really wanted to see the movie, and the people I talked to were really singing its praises and stuff, but I know my boundaries right now, and I just know it's beyond my boundaries right now. And sometimes it's knowing your boundaries, but if you just get triggered and you didn't know it was coming, talking to someone, journaling about it, even if need be, joining a support group. There's RAIN, you could join RAIN, things like that are for other survivors. Spencer says, on top of it, I had to take Maya back to Des Moines, and leaving her was hard. Yeah, leaving people we care about is always hard.
Here's a question for you. Do you pronounce it Des Moines or Des Moines? I've always
said Des Moines.
I said Des Moines, non-plural variant. So I've always curious to see how a native.
How does everyone else pronounce it? I've always said Des Moines, so I don't know. I never really thought about it. James says, my workers' comp is the VA. Oh gosh. Yeah, say no more, Rick. Say no more.
So basically, you don't have workers'
right?
comp.
Yeah. Yeah, David was saying to Spencer, maybe you can set up Zoom chats and keep in contact. My friend and I watch Murder, She Wrote reruns on Zoom together. That's pretty much what keeps my sanity, is every now and then I have to have Zoom calls with my besties back home, because I'm in Arizona and they're all back in Missouri. And it's been really rough, not having my closest friends here, but that has really helped, just being able to keep in contact that way. And of course, we're on each other's social and stuff. Oh gosh, Spencer says, and to top the drive back home from Des Moines, I saw 5 Iowa State troopers and I thought I was going to get pulled over. There is nothing that can compare to that anxiety of cops pulling up behind you.
Yep.
And you're just, please don't pull me over, please don't pull me over, please don't pull me over. Even if you're not doing anything, I still feel paranoid when they come up behind me, because I'm going, is there dirt on my license plate or something? And I just didn't know it. I always feel very uncomfortable when cops are behind me. And log trucks. I always feel very uncomfortable around log trucks too. And I have banned, thank you, David. First bump, fist bump. I love it. Thank you. Miss Felony Starter says, I'm on my last legs. I cannot do this anymore. I'm serious. Not looking for attention. Is something specific going on? I know you were struggling before being in the hospital and stuff. You'd said that a few streams ago. Did something else happen? Or is it just compounding on the same stuff? David's now trying to send hug graphics. Randy Q says, luckily workers' comp so far has been easier than dealing with the VA. Anything is easier than dealing with the VA. It took years for them to approve my claim, and actually, if I did go home, I'd have my mom and girlfriend to help me out, and the cats. It's good. I was waiting for her to respond. Oh my gosh, Matthew says, I was also recently called an N-word lover in reference to having African-American friends. Well, take it as a compliment. Some people are just ignorant. Felony, I can see that you're really struggling, and I think that you took a really good step in being here with us this morning, and I know that you're wanting to say goodbye, but I also know that you showed up here this morning, so you're open to finding help, and I hope that you can tell us what's going on so we can give you a little bit of direction, hopefully, and help you get through this, because I know that it can seem really overwhelming and it can seem like there's just no other options left. I've been there. I know what that's like, but please just let us help you. Just tell us what's going on and let us help you through this. Oh gosh, yep, it's starting to get crazy in here and I can't keep up with all the messages. Master Rogue says, I went to see Sound of Freedom. I've been a victim of that stuff, but no one came for me. You know, I did, probably completely unrelated to the plot of the movie, but yeah, that's what I'm afraid of getting triggered over, is stuff like that. Talking about with my friend after the movie was probably the first time I really just sat and cried about it. And I bet that felt really amazing. And I feel like I really need to talk some stuff out. I think there's just some certain traumas that are coming up that I really need to address. And I probably will make some videos about it in the near future. But yeah, I think I'm just definitely needing to address some stuff. It's kind of interesting how we can't really avoid things, right? It's just that they come up and we can either set it aside, we can try and push it down, or we can address it. And if we don't address it, it just keeps coming up and it keeps compounding. So right now I'm realizing with things consecutively coming up that I need to address some trauma and I need to take a step back and reflect on how I plan to do that. So I will keep everyone updated on that, of course. Felony says, I'm trans on SSD because of the rape. I was in a coma for 10 days last year because of the trans hate. I know that I want to remind everybody that the community here is obviously very accepting of everyone. I'm wondering if you're in any other support groups for trans individuals, because I know several people that have been through this and that have been confronted with the ignorance that comes with hating someone that you don't even know. And of course, it can be really difficult to seek that out, because we're scared. But there are groups specifically that will support you and that will advocate for you and that will be there for you. And of course, we're here to do that as much as we can. But I think that it would be really, really beneficial for you to connect with some of those groups, and I can message you, I can email you. I have your email. If you're okay with it, I can email you some of those groups that I think could really help advocate for you and make you make sure that you're safe and that you're getting what you need. So if you're okay with that, I'd like to email you some of those groups. I go to a place sometimes that Republicans are trying to pull funding for, where there are organizations that are not government funded, so they are privately funded that should be able to help. Mika saying my trigger right now is any black BMW X5 SUV I see. Understandable. That would definitely be a huge trigger for me, given the things that you're going through. I forgot to mention in the beginning, we do still have that goal of the 250 in pledges for the week. So at this point now, that would be 500. And because I haven't been able to really do any outreach. We did meet that last time. We met that goal, and at this point, we would be able to do a few bigger things, which I'm kind of excited to see what comes up and what we can do. I don't even really go seeking things out. The awesome thing is these things just kind of come to me, which to me is a bit more poetic, because then it's just, well, whoever is needing help is coming into my hemisphere, and those are the people I'm able to help. David says to Matthew, people that call you that are just missing out on the joy of the wider world. My biggest celebrity crush, besides Miss Amanda, is mixed race, and she's beautiful as she is. One of my first celebrity female crushes was Halle Berry, so I can relate. You're here, Felony, to show people that you can find strength. People talk crap. Unfortunately, people can talk crap. They can say hateful things. They can do hateful things. And that's a reflection of their own insecurity. That's a reflection of their own hatred toward themselves. If someone is hating someone, especially someone they don't know, that's a reflection of their own hatred toward themselves. Like, they feel insecure and they're projecting that on you. So you are here. I mean, I'm sure you're here for many reasons I don't know about, but I believe that you're here to show that we can fight against that. And when we can show that we can stand up and we can fight back against that, that gives other people that are struggling the hope to be able to do the same. Because there are so many trans individuals that are really struggling because of hate and because, thank you, Mick and Aaron, thank you, darling. There were so many people that are struggling because of being judged or having to deal with that hate or whatever the case is. I need a piece of paper here, or I'm going to lose track in whether or not we hit our pledge goal. Then David did 5, right? Okay. A 3. Yeah, I'm old school and have to write things down. Rick, by the way, I did want to update you that your pledge did come through. I forgot about that, but your pledge did come through. I didn't forget about the pledge, but I forgot to mention it here. Your pledge did come through. Oh, and there's another pledge, and I'm just losing stuff right now. Thank you guys so much. I think we'll hit it. I think you're going to make me do crazy things today to hit it, but I think we'll hit it. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see what we can do in the next couple of weeks. But as I was saying, I think that I was bullied a lot, and it was for the most ridiculous stuff. Like it was my boobs weren't big enough, or I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't wearing the right clothes. I was really severely physically and mentally bullied in my academic upbringing, and it was challenging at the time. But as an adult, I'm just, why? I confronted one of my bullies actually, and he apologized. He was very apologetic about it. But really all we can do is build up the strength to protect ourselves physically and emotionally, find the skills to kind of put up that, I say wall, and I say that very hesitantly because I don't really believe in putting up a wall, but I do believe in kind of protecting our energetic field. So there's a difference between putting up a wall and blocking everyone out and just kind of protecting our energetic field and being a little cautious about what and who we let in. What do you think?
Yeah.
Have you had to protect yourself from people physically or emotionally?
I don't think to the extent that you have, for sure. I realized that I would never consider myself a bully, but I know that there was one person that I remember growing up that I did something that I was not very proud of, that I've tried to track down over the years to apologize, but I've never been able to find that person. And so I don't know if they've changed names, what the case may be, but I've tried to track them down because it might be very difficult for a person that's on the other side of that to reach out and say, hey, you did this to me, I feel bad. I'm trying to take that step to preemptively do that, to right one of the wrongs I have in my life. I was a pretty good kid growing up. I didn't get into trouble a lot, but there is one thing that I feel not proud about, and I've tried to.
That's on your Earl list.
Yeah, I've tried to make that right. And
what do you? I'm just kind of curious. What do you think made you do that? What do you think made you act in that way?
Not really anything, to be honest. Like, it wasn't like I hated the person. They didn't do anything to me. I just thought it was funny when it really wasn't. I mean, as a little kid, it was hard for me to differentiate between mean and funny. And I'm not proud of that one.
I think there's a lot of reasoning behind it. I think sometimes, especially with younger kids, it sounds like you were fairly young when it happened, especially with younger kids. I mean, Bryson struggled with that. My son struggled with that before too, where he just doesn't understand that can have a lasting impact on people. Sometimes people don't really understand that their actions are going to have that lasting of an impact, because for them, they can just throw the N-word or throw the F word or the F word in conjunction with the LGBT community. They can throw all of these terms and just not realize how deeply that can really cut a person depending on where they're at in their journey. And then there are the people that have been hurt, so they want to hurt other people because hurt people, right? And then there's the people who are just insecure and they're looking for a way to address that, and it just comes out in projecting their own insecurities. Spencer says, I've gotten through my dark times. I'll get through it again. I was on the verge verge of becoming a raging alcoholic. Well, it's good that you chose another path. Felony Starter says, I get home and my dad is in full-blown congestive heart failure. Lost my $50K year job because I'm trans. I had a great job at the end of the month. I don't want to hook anymore, and you shouldn't have to. And I completely respect that you're wanting to get things back in order. It sounds like a lot of really major things happened all at once. I hope that your dad was able to get the care that he needed through that, and that you're able to find another job, that you're able to find something that suits you, because at the end of the day, that can be really hard. It's criminal. It's actually criminal in most places. But at the end of the day, do you really want to work for an employer that doesn't respect you for who you are, that doesn't care about you for who you are, that's going to look down on you for who you are? In a way, yes, it's difficult, but it can also be seen as a blessing in disguise that this person, let you go, and you can find a job that aligns more with who you are, and that will love you for who you are, and who will respect you and treat you as the equal you deserve to be treated as in your work environment. So hopefully you're able to find something that aligns more with that. Matthew says, I was recently assigned Mein Kampf in college history. It is hard to read how aggressive he gets about my fellow Jewish people, but I'm plowing through the assignments. It was actually really hard for me to get a copy of that book, and I ended up getting it as a gift because I wanted to read it for the historical value, and it is quite difficult to get through. I haven't finished it, but there are a lot of things in there that I can't, some things I can actually say, okay, I kind of see how he put those things together, but a lot of it's just, wait, how did you get from point A to point? I'm missing the middle part here. I'm missing how you got from point A to point B. But I think that when we can read these things and we can understand where the other person's coming from, where the bullies, because he's one of the biggest bullies in history, when we can understand where bullies are coming from, then we can address that mindset a little more effectively. I'm getting way behind here in comments. I can't keep up. Oh, Rick says, I had my first hater. I was wearing a patrol cap with my name on the back of it. They actually called me a killer after I told them I fought in Afghanistan. I'm really curious, Rick, because I know your personality, what you said back to them, because I can think of all kinds of things I would have liked to say, but I want to know what you said back. Christopher Palmer says, I walk away from them, but hope that they get some help for themselves at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of haters, not a lot, but I have a fair amount of people that will message me and say nasty things or leave nasty comments. And I've gotten to the point, I've actually had several instances where I will respond to them in a kind and loving way. And I think it kind of throws them off, because then they end up opening up about their struggles and stuff. So it worked out. But when you realize when someone is angry, they are in pain. So when someone is angry and they're lashing out, be it at you or about something else or somebody else, that person's in pain. And once you can realize that, you can realize it's not personal. You can say, okay, this person has a story and a struggle, and it's not that it's right for them to take it out on me, but at least you can take it less personally. We are already halfway through, and I haven't even done our good news story. So I want to make sure that we get our good news story for the day in, because I need all the good news I can get. Did you want to add anything before we jump into the good news?
No, go for it.
I know you're not shy, Aaron. Don't pretend to be shy. So, where is this? So in Texas, stop giving pop-ups. A thriving garden at a former coal mine is feeding thousands. The Texas mine's restoration is ongoing, but in an area with few grocery stores, the small garden is already making a big difference. It's talking about how these homeschoolers are picking fist-sized garlic cloves. I've never seen a garlic clove that big in my life. Green jalapenos, strawberry squash, and kale on a breezy Thursday morning in late June. They're volunteering at a local food garden where bright orange marigolds attract bees. Ooh, David's going to love that. From a local keeper's hive. The 1-acre garden has yielded about 10,000 pounds of produce for 6 food pantries since it began harvesting in April of last year. Texan by Nature, which manages the garden and was founded by former First Lady Laura Bush, estimates it has served approximately 2,000 people per month in Limestone, Freestone, and Leon counties. Located in Freestone County, about 60 miles east of Waco, NRG Dewey Prairie Garden is a part of a massive effort to restore a 35,000-acre lignite coal mine, which stretches mainly into the town of Jewett and used to fuel NRG's Limestone Electric Generating Station, a 1,688 megawatt power plant. An NRG spokesperson said the coal plant began running on cleaner burning coal from Wyoming in 2016, which is pretty awesome, as is. That's when the company halted mining locally after more than 3 decades. The reason I liked this story when I saw the heading for it was because it shows progress, because we do need to be moving away from coal mining and stuff for environmental reasons and for the health of the individuals that are involved in coal mining and stuff. I think that it's better if we move toward other avenues. But it took that and turned it into something beautiful. So it took this process that was causing a lot of damage and turned it into something that's helping a lot of people and creating a lot of beauty. So I really liked that story. Aaron's also having a little bit of eye pain this morning.
I'm having
he's a bit
distracted.
distracted.
Distracted here. I got LASIK done a little while ago, and it's healed, but something happened and it came back, and my eyes are just incredibly dry and watery, or dry and itchy.
Dry and watery.
Yeah, that's how distracted I am. I can't even put words together right now. So I'm trying to stay focused, but it's very distracting to have this constant thing just ticking at you.
What do you think, though, about the coal mine turned garden to help the communities?
I would definitely agree. We all know coal mining is not good for, not just the environment, but it's just, I don't know. It's hard for me to think that in a world today where we have so many different ways of creating energy, that's still a thing. But I know this, on the flip side, it creates lots of jobs for lots of people, which is great. But I feel like we could figure out a better way.
I think we are figuring out better ways. And I always thought it was interesting how people attach so much to that. Well, it's creating jobs for people. So is manufacturing crystal meth, but should we be doing that? Probably not. Sorry, Jesse and Walter. I think that we should be looking at the whole picture and seeing, yes, we do need to be creating jobs, but can we create jobs in a way that's not only helping people, but making sure that we're not doing more damage in other arenas? I love Felony's pride here. I love her esteem here. I'm a leather-clad blondie bombshell tea girl, and when I carry around my coffin guitar case, I feel like a queen, as you should. You sound like a queen. I know you're a queen. What am I talking about? But I know that you have the self-esteem in there, and other people are trying, oh man, I don't have my sign. I can't turn to my little No Litete Bastardes Coborandorum sign that's on my office wall, because we can't let the bastards grind us down. There are people that are always going to try and grind you down and beat us up physically or emotionally, and we can't give those people power. This is how I think of it. And I'm thinking of this as you right now, but I've thought of this as myself too. If you lose your battle, those people win. Like that's what keeps me going some days, is if you lose your battle, if you let go today, then those people who bullied you won. And I don't want that. I know you don't want that. And I know all the people that are checking out your bombshell-esque queen self don't want that either. There's a whole community of people that will love and support you. And of course, the community here, don't let those people win. Don't let the bastards grind you down. There's so much support to get through this, and so much love out there in the community, especially nowadays. I think, unfortunately, people have shifted away from, it's good that people are shifting away from gays and lesbians and stuff, but now they're focusing more on the T part of the LGBT community, and that seems to be the part of the community that's getting the most hate lately, because it's still something that I think people are kind of getting used to, even though trans people have been around for forever, for as long as we've been documenting history. There have been people who have identified differently. They just either weren't able to speak out about it, or would probably have been killed in some tribes. But there have been documented instances of this being a thing through human history. So it's not anything new. It's just right now that happens to be the social issue that everybody is attaching to. So for a while it was women, and then it was gays, and unfortunately right now it's the trans community. So these different communities kind of tend to be targets, and right now we have to fight back against that. And if we keep losing the community members, it just makes it hard. It makes it harder and harder for us to fight that war. Arturgic flosculator. That sounds like something I would have learned about in science class. It's easy for people to look at how imperialistic and unfounded a conflict was and to transfer their outrage to the individuals on the ground in that conflict. Absolutely, yeah. David says, sadly, being a killer is often the biggest struggle vets live with, even if the other person, oh my God, it scrolled. Now I can't find it. Even if the other, I'm assuming he was saying even if the other person deserved it, even if it was founded. Yeah, my thing is can't keep up. There's too many messages coming on. So like I said, make sure you're using that super chat, super sticker if you want me to see your messages, because it's getting kind of crazy. David says we're slowly turning Mental Amanda to Metal Amanda. Metal Mental Amanda. Say that 10 times fast. Oh, Dude Stop. This is actually very interesting. Dude Stop says, I used to think I was trans, but I was just feeling bad about being a guy and not having big muscles and being stronger. And then my trans friend told me I was trans, but I don't think I am. Well, nobody else can tell you what you are. They're just making assumptions, based on the limited information they have. I think that that's something that you need to reflect on, maybe even talk with a professional about, that can help you, like help ask questions and help you determine whether or not that identity would align with you, whether that is something that that would be true for you or not. I think that there is a huge misunderstanding with people trying to speak more out about it socially. Someone who just has more feminine traits, that does not make them, like a man who has more feminine traits, that does not make them trans, or a girl who has more masculine interests, that doesn't make them trans. There is that misconception. And I think we need a lot more education and a lot more support, just to make sure. I have nothing against people who are wanting to transition and stuff, but I do think that making sure that's genuinely what's best for them is important. Johnny says, I'm going to a metal festival here in Sweden next Friday, and you're going to think of me. I know you are. David says, I don't understand attacking things you don't agree with. Just ignore them. But we spend way too much time on hate. Let everyone be themselves and focus on happiness. I think it just gives people, again, it's people hate themselves and they need somewhere to channel that hatred. So it just ends up being channeled, unfortunately, on other people and projected on other people. We had some trips planned, but it's just really not in the stars. We had some stuff planned, but I can't human right now. I can't. I don't say this often, but I can't even. I'm feeling a lot of weight right now, and I'm trying to be proactive and use my skills and talk through that. But I know that you've said before, Erin, that you feel like there's not a lot of support, mental health support for men either. So I know that obviously Felony is struggling because she doesn't feel like there's a lot of mental health support for the trans community, but I think that can be true for a lot of different sex and stuff, not sex, S-E-X, but sex, S-E-C-T-S, of our society.
I think it could be hard to find groups. I think group might be the wrong word. I think you need to find just that special someone, not your significant other, but just any one person can make the difference. I know that I've had various people come and go throughout my life, but at the time that I was dealing with something, I've always had kind of one person that I could confide in and talk to, and it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
You don't need to have 500 friends. You need to have one really good friend. I'd trade one really good friend for 500 mediocre friends any day of the week.
Agreed.
And I mean, the trick is, how do you find that one person? That's the tricky part. But I've been fortunate enough to always have that somebody, and it's changed throughout my life. I've had somebody who I've considered my best friend. I've had 10 different people fill that role throughout my life, and it's unfortunate when that person goes, but the time that I needed them, they were there for me.
I think finding support is crucial. Trying to do things
Yeah.
on your own is just impossible. For even the strongest person, trying to do things on your own is impossible. And that's the one good thing about social media and the internet becoming so prevalent is, you can find Reddit threads, you can find Facebook groups, you can find Instagram people that think similarly as you, whatever the case is. You can find YouTube channels and YouTube communities, but you can find people who think similarly to you. And Randy was saying to Felony, I think you need new friends. And I would very much agree with that. It sounds like the people in your life aren't very supportive, and maybe they can't be. Some of them, it sounds like they really can't be, but others, it's sounding like, are just plain cruel. And it sounds like you need more people. Actually, I'm going to reach out. We have another individual here in the community who just recently came out as trans, and I'm wondering if you guys talking to each other might be helpful, because she's also struggling a lot with the transition and with people being accepting, and with a lot of bullying and stuff. So I will reach out to her, and if it's okay, I can connect you. So I can send you some of those resources I was talking about earlier, but I can also connect you if that's okay.
I know this is also a little bit more difficult in some people's situations, but I think environment makes a really big difference. If you're in a place that's just not conducive to your lifestyle, it's very difficult to exist in there. So I don't know if you're living in a place where that's just not a socially acceptable thing. It's not easy just to pick up your life. So, all right, I'm just going to move across the country somewhere else. But if that's anywhere in the wheelhouse, I'd recommend getting out of where you're at.
If that's the option, as opposed to letting go, let's figure out a way to get you somewhere else.
Yeah.
David, thank you, says, men are taught not to show weakness, especially around other guys. I find it easier to open up to a woman. Amanda helps so many of us lost guys afraid to open up. And I kind of suspected that when the channel started going in the direction of more of a community, that there would be a lot of guys that would be coming here going, okay, well, it's kind of that mother goose figure, like that motherly figure that's giving you a space. And that's what I was hoping for, was just being the mama wolf, to help people have a place to go and talk and open up. I do want to get into the wins. David said, we're 40 minutes in and haven't got into the wins. So Aaron, would you like to sing the Snap Cup song today?
I was lying about my eyes. It's actually my throat. I don't really have a throat today. So
I don't believe you. You can't lie to me. Lucifer would never lie to Chloe.
Nope, that's true.
What do you guys think? Who do you guys think should sing the Snap Cup song today? Oh, thank you, Mick. Mick says, I've told Miss Amanda stuff I've never told anyone else. So thank you, Miss Amanda. Well, thank you for trusting me with that, and for being here to get through the stuff. Thanks, Aaron.
But if you
have to sing it, I don't know. I think Sam says you should sing it. Jake says me. Let's see.
I'll lip sync for you.
That's no, you can't lip sync the Snap Cup song. Ugh, that is blasphemous. I know you know it. We need an Edward recording of this song.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Where is that?
Edward sings it, then I'll sing it.
Oh, Mick says he should sing it while you dance to it. But what dance am I going to do? I'll see you in a little while, Spencer.
No.
Why not make it a duet? Yes, you have to at least sing with me.
I don't need a bully in my life.
You need to sing with me. Nobody's going to make fun of you. My voice is not fantastic. Speaking of, where is Edward?
Yeah, what the heck?
I think he should come in right now. Yep, Rick says sing. I think we have to sing together, Aaron. I'll even let you hold the sacred vessel. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Snap cup time, snap cup time, gather ye round, friends and foes together, united and bound. Pass it to your neighbor instead of blowing up and you'll find harmony and love in a snap cup. It
Sorry.
sounds a little better here. You mixed up love and harmony.
I did. I'm sorry.
Amanda
I've
has
never
improved
had to sing it before.
You sang it to me because I knew you knew it. I
That was
need
a
it.
while
You
ago.
can't put it over there. I need it. So let's start in on the winds of
I'm sorry for everybody who had to
community.
listen to that.
Everyone loves you, Hush. Spencer says, nice meeting you, Aaron.
Hey, Spencer.
He's laughing because Spencer is the last name of my favorite character in my soap opera that I have a total crush on. So every time I see Spencer, that's what I think of. Rick says, made progress on the book I'm writing. I know how hard that can be, so get over here and snap with me. Big stuff. How does he snap that loud? Little snaps are puny. You guys get extra snaps today because his snaps are so much better than mine, but that's amazing. I know how difficult writing a book can be. That's a huge undertaking, and I'm proud of you for being able to make progress on that. Nick says, I'm just proud it only took Miss Amanda a year to learn how to snap. You guys hush. Metal Mark says, was good enough. I didn't need to mute. Jake Smith says, I get to go to Pittsburgh Steelers training camp. I went last year and it was fun. Hopefully it will be a great time this year as well. That sounds, it sounds like fun for someone who's a sports fan. Does that sound like fun? You're a sports fan. Wouldn't that be cool?
I am not a Steelers fan, so I can't.
Well, if it was a team you liked.
I can't snap for that. I'm sorry. But yes, I'll give you that one.
Big snaps for being able to go do something fun and get away from the world and from the daily grind.
Yes.
I swear, y'all sports fans are crazy. I can't imagine ever, hating someone just because of a group that they liked. I don't know what you're giving me that look for. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you guys are so cute. When is your reality TV show coming out? When we get a deal. I would absolutely do some reality show right now for money. Ew. Have I really stooped that low in my life?
Yeah, that's.
I'm
genuinely surprised at that.
Has my financial situation become that much of a challenge that oh my God, I'm willing to be a Kardashian?
No, you're not.
I think my soul just died a little. We're going to get back to these wins before I have a crisis of conscience. Matthew Zaria says, I'm 5 years clean from a heroin-type drug dependency. That's big snaps. I'm proud of you. Awesome. 5 years. I just hit my 5 year too, and I was feeling really good. So I know a lot of challenges come up along the way. Cravings can still hit you some days, but that is amazing. We're not going to read David's comment right now. I do not hate anyone, David. You hush your mouth. The Nuggie 5417, the Nuggie. Oh, that means that Bryson has little veggie chicken nuggets that are called Nuggies. And can I just have my Nuggies tonight? So that's what that made me think of. Made me smile. Thank you. Get away from thinking of Kardashians. I actually have a good one for this. Ooh, yes. I finally built up the courage to cut off a friendship with someone who would constantly gaslight me, treat me with double standards, and make me feel like the horrible thoughts I have are selfish and overall stupid to feel. Yes. Yes, big snaps for that. It's amazing to get away from those people. I tell you, that alone can massively change your mental health, just getting away from people who don't treat you like you deserve to be treated and don't treat you with respect. Gaslighting is hard because it makes you think you're crazy because you start second guessing yourself all the time and you just feel insane all the time. So I'm very glad that you were able to get away from that. Stick with it. That's the hard thing, is sticking with it. Stick with it. Do not back out. You have the strength to walk away. Now stick with that decision. Aaron needs to be Amanda's designated snapper. Sorry, he's much better. Amanda's singing, Aaron snaps. Yes, sounds like a plan. You're hired.
I've got skills.
Then multiplying. Oh my God, now I'm going to sing again. People are going to have to listen to me sing twice. Ooh, I hate that it started displaying like this because now I'm going, Lucinda Pretorius. And I'm sure that actually displays a name, but Lucinda Pretorius. Says, I finished all my exams, yay, and I feel like I put some good work toward them. Yes, that is such a good feeling, is getting all of your schoolwork and stuff. I finally finished the last of my schoolwork for my classes, and it feels so good. So I'm proud of you that we can celebrate that together and put that behind us. You know, we work hard, and then we could say, yes, I did it. And now I don't have to think about it anymore. Now I don't have to think about biology ever again. Do we pay her to sing again or pay her not to sing again? That is the question. What do you guys think? Aww. I just know by the fact that it's at to be calm. My girlfriend, oh, you can read this one. It's about me. And I feel weird reading about my own.
I think you should read it.
Okay.
It's yours now.
My girlfriend was accepted into ASU. She had no business starting out going to school again, but has not only passed all of her classes, but has absolutely crushed it with a 4.0 GPA. My face is turning red, and now I can't talk either. I can't begin to tell you how proud and excited I am for her. I know it's going to be rough financially, but I want her to know that I will always have her back. Thank you. Yes, I hadn't announced that yet, so thanks for spoiling my announcement. But yeah, I officially got accepted into ASU. Well, the people here in the chat get it, and then they get a little sneak peek, announcement. So yeah, I got officially accepted into ASU. Having some struggles right now with financial aid not wanting to cover anything, so I don't know what I'm gonna do, because now I just pretty much have to come up with a fairly large sum of money in a month. So if anyone has any ideas that don't involve selling crystal meth, that would be great. I'm not considering that, just to be crystal clear to any FBI agent listening to this. That is not on the table. Just saying that as a Breaking Bad fan, that my brain goes, how do I make a lot of money really fast to deal with this? So seriously, if anyone has any legal suggestions, please let me know. Seriously, you're adorable. You found your happiness. I did. I found my person. He's my person. She may soon have someone to sing the song that will be so bad you will long for the Amanda song. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get someone that's so bad that you guys pledge to get me back to sing it again, because your ears will just bleed. Wait, I thought all you had to do to get into ASU was drink a beer bong.
That's what I thought, to be honest. I mean, apparently it's really difficult to get in there, but...
David says, how about reality TV? I'll be the producer. That sounds like some really shady thing on Craigslist. I'll be the producer of your private reality show. Arizona State University, Johnny. But yes, I got accepted into the forensic psychology program.
Holy cow.
Oh my God. Oh, Randy, thank you so much.
Holy cow. Randy.
Well, we hit our goal. We definitely hit our goal, and I'm going to...
Wow. Thanks, Randy.
Thank you,
that's
Randy.
massive.
You're going to make me cry. Need to make a note. Just, yes. I love you guys. Okay, now I can't talk. Now I'm in shock and I can't talk. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah.
I give you kisses, but I don't think you'd want them. So.
You can give man hugs. Give a bro hug.
Yeah, the bro hug.
What?
Pat.
Can somebody please explain once we get through snaps, somebody needs to explain the bro hug to me, because I just don't get it. So much love. Thank you. Please don't cry. I make more than enough for it not to affect me. Jack Attack DX says, I kept creating even as my imposter syndrome stepped up and told me I'm not good enough. Snaps to you for overcoming that. My shadow has imposter syndrome, and I get that a lot in my head, that it's just why'd you create this course? You're not professional. Why do you have this channel? You're not good enough to be producing this content. Why did you write this book? You're not a good writer. So I have like all these things constantly. Why are you going to school? You're not a good student. You're old, and you're not good enough to go to school. You're not smart enough. Yeah, that stuff comes up in my head all the time. But you know what? Once you realize that it's all wrong and that those are just thoughts and you can get past that, it's a huge win. So big snaps to you. Good job. David says, bro hug, one arm only, 2 back slaps, no longer than 3 seconds, never make eye contact, keep hips at least a foot apart. You guys actually have like a contract for this?
Did you? I literally emoted it, just the tap on the back, and that's it.
You guys
we all get it. We all understand it.
Metal Mark says, Randy, I'm open to adoption. You back the hell off, Mark, because if anybody needs adopted, it's this gal, okay? I'm accepting applications. Rick James says, talk to an old veteran brother at 2 a.m. down from a possible suicide attempt. We talked about some of the stupid things we did in Afghanistan. We're laughing at the end of the conversation. I bet that felt really good. I've talked to his sister, and he is finally getting the psychological help he needs. This guy saved my bacon more than once. It is a good feeling that I can return the favor. He might be joining this community too. Well, he is welcome here. Snaps to you. That's amazing that you were there for him. And that you were able to help him in the right direction of getting the help that he needs. And hopefully the community can be another resource for him. We obviously do have a lot of vets here, and I do have a couple of vet resources. One I link in the or in the description here for the streams. His name is Lee Huff, and he is a veteran himself, but also has a lot of connections in the veteran community. So if your friend does need help, Lee is a good resource for that. And of course, usually I refer people to you too, Rick, here in the community, but I'll just leave it at Lee. In the Wrong Side of Heaven video, I also included a lot of veterans links for people needing help, but that's really, really good news. That makes me sigh that, there's one less out there that is losing their battle today. The veterans one always breaks my heart because they're the ones that really, it shouldn't even be a question that veterans should be getting anything that they need, absolutely anything that they need. But I'm glad that you guys stick together and are there for each other. Yeah, 22 a day, that number haunts me too, Nick. Well, on that day for Rick, it was 21. And that's amazing. Everyone counts. Everyone that we can get down counts. CP368 production says, I drove for the first time ever and first time alone in the second biggest city in New York and didn't feel nervous at all. I'm sad that Edward's not here to hear this one. I'll have to tell him about it later. Except, of course, when a guy thought the best course of action when some guy pulled out from a stop sign in front of him was to swerve into the oncoming lane. Oh my gosh, I missed him by about, I don't know if that's 3 inches or 3 feet, but holy crap. I'm glad that you were able to get through that. Snaps to you for being able to, number one, face your fear and do that, but face, a challenge that was thrown in your way while you were doing this. I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad that you were able to find the strength to get through that. And I'm glad that you were able to find the strength to even put yourself in that position. I used to have really bad agoraphobia. I didn't want to leave my house. Driving was a huge anxiety for me. Being far away from home was a huge anxiety. So I understand that. And Edward has talked openly about his driving anxieties and how he's done exposure therapy to overcome that. So he'll be a really good person in the community to connect with in regards to this. But yeah, big snaps to you for being able to overcome that. Oh, Johnny's out. We'll see you soon. Johnny. Making some popcorn for the wife. Have a good Friday. You too. Thanks for stopping by. The Scorpio 1999 says, slowly but surely, my voice is gradually recovering. That's good news. This might be a slow, long recovery process, but I'm able to hit some high notes again. Yay! Where sound previously wasn't coming out. Still going to take things slow and easy, though. Good choice. Bonus round win. Ooh. Going into overtime. Recently befriended an up-and-coming musician and vocalist and got some advice from her related to this. If I make it through this, I'm writing a record and I'm calling dibs on a band name of 27-Minute Jury. That's mine. Well, now you well, I guess, you
probably should have left that part out.
No, because
is going to steal it.
Now the comment will be dated so he can say, hey, I had this before you.
There you go.
So yeah, there's a lot of big snaps and there's a lot of big wins. Good job. I'm glad that you're recovering. I'm glad that you've been able to find, your spirit through this recovery, through this process. I'm glad you've been able to find that because I know that can be really hard when it just feels like the whole universe is weighing down on you and trying to take away things that are precious to you. It can be hard to find the strength in that. So, but yeah, the bonus round, I love that. I love when we can build our own little community and family of people that can support us. I think it's really helpful for me to find people when I'm in a specific challenge to find people that are going what I'm going through, so that so we can support each other and share our experiences with each other, and then it makes it less isolating. So I think that's really awesome. And I will be expecting royalty checks for you if you ever get famous, since now your name is part of the community. I don't know, I'm just pulling things out of my butt here.
We've got 17 records preemptively sold for you right now.
Yes. Yeah, see, look at that. So we expect royalty checks here. The Gamer Girl 87 says, came out to my family's transgender and they accept me. That's my win for the week. So we have another person here in the community. That's amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that your family accepted you, that you felt that you could be yourself. And Felony, there's another individual for you to speak with, to connect with. That makes me happy. It makes me happy that the people are feeling safe here and knowing that they're loved and accepted. And I think that sticking together is huge. So hopefully you guys can get together. This was over on the community page, Felony. So if you want to respond to Gamer Girl 87, I'm sure you guys can connect and hopefully be able to support each other. Final Victory says, I have autism and I'm worried about a lot. Like, I'm worried people are not going to hire me due to my autism, that I won't reach my goals. Well, fortunately, we do have laws in place that don't allow discrimination based on disabilities. This one I would actually say, I have a friend whose son is autistic, and she's very connected in the community and knows a lot more than I do. If you email me, I can connect you guys. I don't think she's on the stream today. If she is, she hasn't said anything. She kind of comes in every now and then, but I think that when it comes to autism, recognizing your strengths and the things that you need to focus on and work on is really huge. And then, building on that and really just being honest with your employer about, hey, sometimes I struggle with certain things, but I want to make sure that I'm doing the best I can as an employee. I think that employers actually can really appreciate that when you're just saying, hey, I might need to step out. I might get overstimulated every now and then, and this is what I'm going to do. Like, I've already planned for that. This is what I'm going to do if that happens, because Bryson, my son, was diagnosed with ADHD recently, and we've been talking to the school, and they're willing to make accommodations for him. We're in the day and age where people are willing to accommodate as long as you're honest about it and as long as you're willing to work on it, work to make sure that you're doing the best you can. Coda James 6211 says, I was in a bad car wreck. Oh my gosh. I went out the windshield of my car and I was in a coma for 2 months. I had to get a trachea and a feeding tube. I lost so much weight, and that made me more depressed because my wreck added so much more to depression I already had. It sucks because I love cars and I don't have one anymore. I'm in the last stages of getting my disability claim. So I try to pick everyone up if they're going through depression, just because I know it can be so much worse. Luckily, I'm not in a wheelchair. There's a little bit more there, but I just want to say I love how they just threw in that positive right in the middle of this. Of, oh, this can be so rough and so awful, but here's a win. I'm not in a wheelchair. It makes me think of the Pollyanna story.
Yeah.
I tell Bryson that all the time, that in Pollyanna, she was going up to get Christmas gifts. So they were in an orphanage, and she went up to get Christmas gifts, and she was the last person to go up, and the only thing left was crutches. And she, being an optimistic person, she said, well, the gift is at least I don't need them. Coda says, God, it can be so much worse. I want to prove to people that there's an opening to the light, even though I go back in the darkest of times. People never know it because I'm always happy-go-lucky. There is always an opening. There is always a light. And so we all wind up back in that dark place sometimes. I'm not going to lie, this week has just sucked. I'm just going to be honest. This week has sucked, and it's been really challenging for my mental health. I'm just fortunate that I have so many skills now to turn to be able to combat it. But man, it's been so rough, physically, financially, emotionally. I want to say spiritually, and I'm not even a spiritual person, but just all of it. We all go back to that dark place. It's whether or not we can find those skills and utilize those skills to get back to where we know we can be, But I will say, well, let me give you your snaps first. Let me give you all your snaps first. I might as well not even snap while Aaron's here. There's no point. But people should know, you should be opening up and talking about when you go to that dark place. Don't feel like you have to put on a face. Don't feel like you have to smile. Ugh. Don't feel like you have to smile, please. It's creepy. Because people can know, when you tell people that you're struggling, it allows them to open up as well. Then they don't feel like they have to fake it. They don't feel like they have to put on that smile. So when we're just honest about where we're at, it empowers other people to be honest about where they're at. So don't feel like you have to shove it down when you're in that dark place. But I'm happy you're not in a wheelchair. I'm happy you're okay. I hope that you get all of the claims and stuff worked out, and that they support you. Oh, that was it. I thought there was another one. That was it. If anybody else has any wins, I'd be happy to share them here, but we're already running over in time. I do have another call I need to go jump on. I love it. Stay rad. We definitely hit our goal. Today, so I don't have to worry about that. But any final wins?
David had a win there.
David had where? Oh, forgot my win. I made others smile yesterday. I danced to 8 Days a Week by the Beatles in the grocery store aisle while shopping. Nothing makes me happier. Snaps to you for making other people smile and finding that little jam yourself. But nothing makes me happier than when I'm out and about and somebody is just lost in their music, whether it's in the car or on the street corner or in the grocery store or whatever, and they're just jamming out. Like, they don't care. The world doesn't exist to them. They are just absolutely lost in this moment, in their song. Maybe the song's in their head. Maybe it's on the radio. I don't know, but I love seeing that. And it's always the most awesome when it's just some little granny that's just shuffling, that always makes me so happy when they're just shuffling to some song. My mom, she wasn't a grandma exactly, but she was 60 when she passed away. And I remember every time What's Your Fantasy by Ludacris came on, or the I Like Big Butt song, Mr. Mix-a-Lot, the Baby Got Back song, my mom would just start jamming. I'm going, Mom, stop. I love you, but please stop. And nowadays I give so much to see my mom just jamming. My email is in the description of my videos, Final Victory. Sam's laughing. Best thing, let's see, flowers. Oh, Christopher Palmer says, my ex-girlfriend's almost 2 months sober now after getting news that she's in liver failure. Her numbers are coming down now and her health is coming back around. We've been starting to reconnect again. You want to give your snaps, and some of your snaps are just beauty. That is amazing. I'm very happy for you guys. Thank you. I needed you all today, more than you could possibly know. I needed the community. I needed the love. And thank you. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you again, Randy Q, for your generosity. I really do appreciate you guys. And I'm glad that there's so much. It just reminds me, that there's good going on in the world. Oh, look, you got your own pledge for your snaps.
My very first pledge.
Thanks. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pat your head. Oh, Nick, you got your own snaps. Yeah, the Pixie Yogi, Yahoo will work. At Yahoo will work. Oh, thanks, David. David gave the email address. Yeah, the email that's in the description of the stream specifically is because some people like to make pledges after the streams via PayPal. So that's my PayPal email, but I do get email there. So either way. Rick James says, remember, to all the vets, I'm able to talk to all of you. Amanda has my email address. Yep. So if you're wanting to reach out to Rick James, let me know. And with that being said, like I said, we usually do every 2 weeks, but we will be here next week again for a special stream. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Mwah!
Bye.
No kisses, Aaron?
Yeah.